Now, wait a minute. How do I apply for financial aid? It's a very common question that we get quite a bit. And the financial aid office, as well as the experience, is really about helping you go through that journey. And it starts right from the word go with the FAFSA. Now, the FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid and really has become a great resource online through fafsa.ed.gov, or you can utilize the My Student Aid app, which makes it very convenient to log in mobile and complete the information so that your FAFSA can move forward in the process. Now, the process, it can seem convoluted and overwhelming, and we get that at times you're going to work together with family members, but there's a couple of steps that we really want you to focus in as you begin work on the FAFSA. First, it's required for federal aid. You must complete a FAFSA every year, so make sure you make a note that it is imperative to go through this journey and plan ahead so that your federal aid can be reviewed from every award year's FAFSA. And it's available starting October 1st of every year. You must have it submitted for the year that you want to receive aid. So for example, this year, 2021, is for aid that's received during the fall of 2020, spring of 2021, the summer of 2021. So make sure when you're completing those FAFSAs, you're aware of the aid year that it applies to. It will also indicate specific tax years. So be aware that 2 years past of tax information, your 1040 or W-2. So for example, with 2122 FAFSA, you're looking at records from 2019. There is a priority deadline. It really is going to focus on some of the aid that's available through the FAFSA, and it's recommended that you complete that by March 1st. And you'll also find that a lot of your home state aid will have a requirement to complete your FAFSA by that time as well. The next thing that you're going to find out is really just to say, what are those things that I need to include? Do I have to provide my parents' information, or shouldn't I just be considered independent? Well, there is a dependency process, and the FAFSA will ask you a series of yes and no questions to identify, are you clarified or classified as an independent, or will you be dependent? Remember, this is not the same for dependency federal tax purposes. If all of your responses are no, then the student is dependent and they must include the parent information. But if any of those questions have a yes response, the student can be declared independent and the supporting documentation will be requested by our office. Now with that, there's a couple of things that you want to make sure that you create. To log in for federal sites, you must create an FSA ID. And you can do that by logging into fsaid.ed.gov. The student and the parent will create their own separate FSA ID. Now we realize in this journey, oftentimes parents will want to complete the FAFSA all on their own, and that's not really what we want you to do because these questions are specific to the student. And so having their FSA ID will partner with you to review the information, and both of you will sign off after the information is done and finalized. And it's very important that both of you sign that. The FAFSA will not be complete, and it can generate errors if there's a missing signature which is completed through the FSA ID. Now remember, this is a process, so it's not as instant as, hey, I've done my FAFSA and where's my money? It is a process that's going to be, we start with a FAFSA, and that creates a student record, or what we call a student aid report. Now, as the university reviews that aid report, there can be a request for additional information. You might have some additional requirements. The student may have to complete those requirements. There could be verification. There's a lot of things that it's very important to realize. The process is multiple steps. And so it's a good time to reach out to the hub again if you do have questions. Once those things go through and all of the additional requirements are processed and reviewed, then a financial aid offer will go out. It's going to list the federal aid coming from the FAFSA that the student is qualified for. Then the student has the opportunity through their STAR account to look at that aid and make a decision. Do I want to accept? Do I want to decline? Do I need to ask the hub about what goes where? it's just very important for you to look at that overall award picture so you know what's going to be presented for the following award year. Now, at that time, when you receive, for example, a loan, there could be some additional requirements, and we will reach out to you by your mix email to remind you that this might need completed or these items are still missing and must be turned in, because when those are all complete and they're turned in for the student, then and only then will the money be applied to your account. So as you can see, it's a multi-layer process. It's much like anything in life. As you know each step, it's great to know that you've completed, check it off the list, and know that your FAFSA is being reviewed and packaged for federal aid. And that really is the journey. How do I get financial aid? How does it go from the FAFSA to my student account? And all the questions that come with it. And we, once again, at the Hub want to help you in that journey and are excited as you complete each one of those steps so that you can have your federal aid for the following award year.